on Sevens Big League with only 3 points between the teams. Melbourne 14-16, 100 points. Richmond 14-13, 97. All the action being brought to you from the Melbourne Cricket Ground.
There's the bounce of the ball now. Who'll take it away? Or Neary caught one right across the face too. Play on, said the umpire. Zantuck came on at the beginning of the third quarter and has done particularly well, as he always does, Shane Zantuck. I was very surprised that he didn't actually start on the ground. But this has been a seesaw game right from the beginning, but no one knows which way it's going to go. It looks like a bit of cramp there by one of the Melbourne players. We see the ball thumped away. It's grabbed by Anir. He can't get out of the pack. And full marks to every one of those players out in the ground today. It actually got to 36 degrees Celsius at one stage. And the players have fought tooth and nail right from the beginning of this game. And not one player has stopped for one moment.
At the end of the first term, Richmond led by 9 points. At half-time, Melbourne led by 15 points. But Richmond kicked 6 straight goals in the third term to Melbourne's 3 goals, 6. And Melbourne had their lead whittled down to only 3 points, which they still have. That's not much, I know, but by gee, 3 points out there today would be a hell of a lead from my book. The ball thumped to the boundary line, and it's going to be a throw-in on nearly on centre wing in front of the members' stand. You can see the shadow of the members' stand there on the ground. Another player leaving the field. We haven't seen many cramps, so these players must be fairly fit, Pete, to withstand the pressure of the day.
They're very fit these days. There's Michael Roberts, who's played a very good game in his first game for the Tigers. On the left foot, up towards full forward. There's a bit of pace by Landy. He tries to hook it back into play, but unfortunately for the Richmond side, he puts it out of bounds on the full. That was Brett Bailey, who came off the ground. He's a good, hard, tough player. Full marks to Danny Hughes today too. Has taken on Mark Lee. He and Peter Moore in tandem, but Hughes, there's a loose man as we see the ball kicked across from Batterston. A sitter dropped by Joe Regolo. He's had a great duel down there with Michael Roach. Roach has kicked 3 goals, but Regolo has done pretty well. There's a hand pass coming out there to Strawn. Greg Strawn hooks it back towards half forward. The mark has been taken by Stephen James. He swings onto the left foot. A long driving high drop punt. And was it touched? I don't think so. I think the Tigers have hit the front. They have. And Richmond move on to 15 goals, 13. 103, leading Melbourne 14-16, 100.
Well, that was all set up for Melbourne to take that ball away from the pull-back position, but Regolo dropped the easy mark that he went for a left foot pass along the ground. I suppose he went for it along the ground, but it was a very well-delivered kick, and then Richmond gained possession, got it down to James, and he thumped it through for a goal. But Melbourne should have had that ball up in their half-forward zone in the matter of seconds, but they messed it up.
Well, it's 2 goals now to Stephen James, who's done some nice things down on the forward line. Pickering was their best forward. He kicked 3 goals early and then went off with a very severe hip injury. Now, here's Newport. Melbourne badly need to reply. They don't want to let Richmond get a bit of a run on. Here's Neil Peart, who's played particularly well at centre-half back today. He and Francis have been outstanding for Richmond as he brings it wide. Who's there for Richmond? It's Strawn. And what's Greg Straudo? Don't tell me he's kept it in play. No, said the boundary umpire. But one man would be happy to see Richmond hit the front. Jack, I'm sure, is the old Richmond stalwart Charlie Callender, who is just recovering from an operation in hospital. And if you're watching the replay, Charlie, all the best to you. And let's hope for your sake the Tigers can get up.
Yeah, Charlie will be barracking for the Tigers, all right, because he was asking a few questions this morning. Here's one of your new boys, Charlie Lockman, picking up. Can't do much with it. He regains it, though. Got a little hand pass away, and the umpire said a free kick will go to Lockman for a trip. Didn't quite see it myself, but Michael Lockman has the ball for Richmond.
Over to Anir. Michael Lockman, of course, an ex-under-19 player and has played a season in South Australia. As Anir brings it across the ground, he's been an excellent player too. Now, who's this with the ball now? Trevor Poole, one of the blondes for Richmond, getting it towards Peter McCormack, who's had his work cut out today playing on young Michael Reynolds, who hasn't capitalised on a number of opportunities. Oh, gee, the players both looked at each other there as we see Peter Moore with a hand pass to Johnson, who's carrying a bit of a groin injury after dominating the first half. Up they go. There's a mark. Yes, a good mark. Oh, don't give it away now, young fellow. That player there is Stephen Turner, the ex-West Australian player. He's kicked one with a lovely goal early in the game. That was a good mark, Jack.
Yes, that one he kicked was about twice the distance he is now from goal, so we know that he can make the distance. He kicks the ball a long way. What he has to do now is get his whole act together, because Melbourne are trailing Richmond by 3 points. We're only 4.5 minutes into the final term. Stephen Turner, with 1 goal to his credit, desperately needs this for Melbourne's sake. Puts it up. The umpire has a good look at it. It's a goal. Melbourne are back in front of the MCG on Sevens Big League.
15-16, 106 Melbourne to Richmond, 15-13, 103. And there he is, Steve Turner. He'd be delighted to have kicked 2 goals in his initial league game. And, well, it's been an amazing game today because at various stages you would have thought one of the sides was going to run away with it, but the other side's fought back. Now it's Melbourne's turn when Richmond were looking good for Melbourne to fight back. So Peter Moore, a big responsibility on him, gets it to Johnson, who's been a good player. We must mention also that Flower has gone off the ground for Melbourne. Now here is Landy swinging onto the left foot, the little short chip. He's looking for Roach. Roach under pressure. Well played, Joe Regalo. That's good fullback play. Roach caught again. Beautiful football by the young fullback, Joe Regalo. And I think he's certainly got a lot of promise. Now the umpire's saying that the player made no... Oh, that's a shocking decision. That guy had, all players had pounced on the ball. He had no chance of trying to get that out of the pack, as we see. Well, I don't know, Jack. At this stage of the game, I would have bounced that one up. There's the kick from an ear up towards full forward. There's Regalo again doing some great work. Oh, the bounce favours number 37, is young Ron Thornton, who's kicked 3 great goals today for Richmond. He came across from Brunswick. There's the bounce coming out to Egan. There's Phillip Egan. A little stab pass. It's a good one. And he finds Michael Roach 35 metres out from goal, directly in front. And young Joe Regalo had no hope whatsoever of stopping that one.
Now, he was behind Roach on that occasion by about 5 metres, expecting a longer kick. But Roach, with 3 goals to his credit, will have this shot from about, I suppose, 35 to 40 out. We know he can make the distance. Head over the ball. You'll see him come in. There'll be concentration. The ball will go to the foot properly. You can bet on that one. There it goes now, off the boot. Well, it's a goal. Kicked by Roach. Richmond back in front on 7's big lead. 3 points the difference.
Well, you can't give Michael Roach too many opportunities. Regalo, in my book, has played a tremendous game down there at fullback today. But, of course, Roach is a champion player and he doesn't need many opportunities. He's kicked 4. The difference now is 3 points in favour of the Tigers. Now, which way will it go? Can Melbourne fight back? Because that's the way it's been right throughout the game.
Peter, 29 shots by Richmond, 31 shots by Melbourne. Melbourne trailing by 3 points. So the story's on the scoreboard. The accuracy is what's making all the difference at this stage of the game. It's been thumped out of the pack and hurriedly booted up by Hughes. Got the boot to it. Tapped down. A chance here for Melbourne if they can break through. Johnson with the ball in front of him. Could have been a trip. The umpire said it is a trip. So he will take this free kick on the half-forward flank. They'll need a rover up there because Reynolds has been contesting everything and the ball's been coming to ground. So Melbourne will need a rover around the packs as the players fly high. No mark is called. And the umpire said a bounce.
I think that was young Steve Turner who flew for that one over the back of the pack. He very, very nearly, there he is getting up now. He very, very nearly took that one. And he's got a great pair of hands. Probably lacks a yard in pace, but he's done some very promising things today. We're in that forward pocket.
Melbourne must keep the ball on their forward line till they score a goal. No, France is going to change that. He kicks it in. Here's a chance. Oh, what an opportunity there. It could have been a free kick to Newport. It has been paid.
Yes, Steve Newport put his body in and received the benefit of the free kick. He's certainly within kicking distance. He's only 35 to 40 metres out directly in front. And Melbourne need this one.
Pete, even though we say only 35 to 40 metres out, at this stage of the game, those fellas are going to be very, very tight.
I feel like lead weights, though, with their legs today.
So a 35 to 40 metre kick now is would be about a 60-metre kick under normal circumstances.
I agree, Jack. 3 points the difference in favour of Richmond. Can Steve Newport put Melbourne in front by 3 points? The funny-looking kick. It's a shocker. As Jack predicted, your legs on a hot day like this at the end of the game must feel very, very heavy as we see the scoreboard show, what is it, 2 points the difference in favour of Richmond.
This should never be allowed to happen. McCormick went for short pass to Anea there and luckily enough they had to bring it back. Luckily enough from Melbourne's point of view because Anea had broken away. Good mark. Good mark. That was a great mark. He was being held by one arm out there was Neil Peart and he took the mark one-handed. So very well done indeed. Now he hand pass into Michael Roberts who has his hand bandaged up. I noticed his left or his right wrist. The ball up to here's a chance for Richmond. It's Waitman. He's gone for Roach and he's found it. Good play by Waitman. Had a very disappointing first half.
Landy, magnificent play by Landy.
It was good play by Landy also to get the ball out to Waitman.
Top play.
But then I think Regalo might have been expecting Waitman to have a shot for goal, but he shot it straight to Roach, who was leading out in front of Regalo. And from the shadows of the light standard now, we'll see Roach attempt to kick his 5th goal. Rhodes on its way. It's drifted a bit. It's a goal. Roach has kicked his 5th goal. Richmond in front now to the tune of 8 points over Melbourne.
Yes, and full marks there to tremendous team play by Graham Landy, who didn't attempt to take the mark. He knew Waitman was waiting over the back. Tremendous roving by Waitman too. Knocked it over the back, and unselfish play as usual by Waitman as he fed Michael Roach. And as I said, Regolo's done a good job, and yet Michael Roach has kicked 5 goals. Now it's a test for the young Melbourne side to see if they can fight back, because they're now 8 points behind, and they haven't been in that position much today.
There's plenty of time now. There's only 10.5 minutes gone in the final term. Here's a chance now, yes, for Fidge to kick a goal from only about 40 metres out. He stands his ground too to make sure that the player doesn't crib over the mark. And Ted Fidge missed a very easy goal in the 3rd term, Pete, from only about 20 metres out.
At a vital time too.
Yes, it was a vital time, but this time he's twice that distance out, so he'll be having, I won't say having doubts about his own ability, but he won't be chock full of confidence in what he's doing.
Sometimes these longer shots can be a bit easier because you relax more.
He's going for his 3rd goal, and I think he has it. Yes, Ted Fidge kicks his 3rd goal for Melbourne, and the game tightens up once again on Sevens Big League. What a treat you people are having.
It's been nip and tuck all day. Both sides really giving everything. They both desperately want to win this first match of the season, and I've got no idea which way it's going to go, and I've said that right from the beginning of the game. There's Lee knocking it out. Danny Hughes has been a terrific team player today with his strengths, shepherding, bullocking, tough work, and there he goes again. And I think
at the back. Yes, that's a strange. Oh, that's the wrong way.
I think there was shepherding, Jack.
He had the hand around his shoulder. Right. Yes, there was. I thought he played that the wrong way, but Richmond do have the ball. They've kicked into the centre of the ground. Could have been a free kick there, not paid. So Richmond now through. Egan will come forward. They'll be looking for Roach, and there he is. Roach! Could have been 15 metres there too, but the umpire may not pay that.
No way.
It could have been, I said, but I don't know whether he was pushed or whether he just stumbled after taking the mark.
If I paid that for 15, I'd give up the game, because that kid down there at fullback, Riccardo, was
he did
trying
push him
his
flat
heart
in the middle of the back after he'd taken the mark.
I think as he was taking it, Jack.
Right, Pete, we won't go into that. Roach going for his 6th goal. Can he increase Richmond's lead, which is now only 2 points over Melbourne?
He's a great kick.
I know he's a great kick. He's kicked 5. Make that 6. So now hit the post. That's his 3rd poster. Oh, he's hit the post on 3 occasions today and kicked 5 goals. So he's having a good day in one way, but not in all ways.
Well, for the good of the game, that's probably a good thing he missed, because we're going to see a tremendous finish, I think, here. There's Danny Hughes, has been covering more ground than the early settlers today. A big fly over the back as Regolo. He's battling his heart out. There could have been a free kick to Richmond in the back. Yes, it was. And who is it? Egan, I think it is. Philip Egan. Oh, gee, Melbourne don't want to let Richmond get the next one. There's the kick. He's looking down there towards James. He has it fisted away. There's Hughes. He'll go in. Oh, gee, he goes in hard as usual.
Free kick. Oh, boy. The Quaddies played a free kick. He said he was being held, but not in possession. There's a Richmond player down out there too. I can't quite pick up who he is in the hands of the trainers. Just left of that shot we have now. But he seems to be all right. Now Richmond coming forward. Melbourne cannot afford to let them kick a goal. They must get that ball away at all costs. Moore there in front, can't take the mark. There were 3 Melbourne players who could have picked up. Zantuck sockers off the ground. But there was a free kick prior to that, and it's going Richmond's way by the look of it. So there was 1 Richmond player to 3 Melbourne players, and he's emerged with the ball and a shot for goal.
I think it's Graham Landy.
It is.
Well, that's a shame for Melbourne to... well, obviously the free kick was there, but it's a shame at this stage of the game, because it's so close. 3 points the difference. Let's hope it doesn't knock the stuffing out of Melbourne, and see if they're good enough to fight back, as we see Graham Landy right in front of goal on that left foot of his. And I think he's put it through. He has. So the difference now is 9 points in favour of the Tigers.
Yes, a good goal kick by Landy on that occasion. It makes his 2nd goal in my calculations. And Graham Landy kicking that shot from off the... an angle shot anyhow, not off the boundary line, but a very, very vital goal, because that makes Melbourne's task that much harder. They have to muster all their strength, courage and talent to try and take this game away from Richmond. They're trailing now by 9 points, and we're nearly 15 minutes into the final term. You're on Sevens Big League, all the action from the Melbourne cricket ground. Hooked out beautifully to Waitman by Lee. He gets it down toward the half-forward zone, and it looks like Richmond could run away here. The hand pass comes back out from Landy. It's shot into the forward pocket.
Yes, Johnny Annear overruns the ball. In goes Nigel Cole. Hand passes it back. He gets it out wide. Here's the kick coming right out towards the half-forward line. Up they go. Oh, Turner couldn't take the mark. It was a good attempt. Oh, cleverly done. Beautiful play by Thornton. This kid can play football as he brings it towards half-forward. James is there. Doesn't get the bounce of it. Regalo overruns it. In they go again. Who's this? I think it was Burke. Gets it across to Cole. Cole up towards the centre of the ground. And that'll be 15 metres against Batterston. Bad play. Eustace with the ball. Mark Eustace, the ex-Essendon player. Let's see what he can do with this one. He's going for the long kick. He'll probably look for Michael Roach. Roach at the back's got his name written all over this. Up he goes. Yes! Oh, boy. I think that football, instead of T.W. Sherrin, had M. Roach written all over that one.
Yes, he had the set. He was a great overhead mark, though, isn't he? He's a great mark, Roach. And from around about a position of 15 metres out from goal, you wouldn't want to bet against him. He's kicked 5 goals. He's hit the post 3 times. And I would say this would be goal number 6 coming up off the boot of Michael Roach. Goal number 6 for Roach on 7's big league. Richmond go ahead of Melbourne to the tune of another 6 points.
Well, I think some of the Melbourne players, and understandably so, Jack, look very, very tired, as of course Richmond. They've got to suffer the same conditions, of course, but some of those Richmond players are really running full steam at the moment. A few of the Melbourne players seem to have tired and they're not chasing their men as hard, and I think that a bit of the stuffing has been knocked out of them.
Yes.